that was looking about access to information for persons with print disability. So we felt that this Marrakesh Treaty came into play, felt that all persons with visual impairment, with print disability, persons who are visually impaired should access information in their right formats. For example, for us here, we believe in using the braille, the large print, and then the audio. Being that I'm one of those that really use the large print, and for us we are here advocating for its domestication. And someone will ask me, what do we mean by domestication?
Yes, I from morning I've been talking about domestication.
Yes.
So I want you to bring the sense of us to your viewers. What are we meaning when we talk about domestication? Are we taking things home? Are we, because domestically is something being home here. So I don't know what it means in your context, in you wanting this treaty to be domesticated.
Thank you very much. These words are really interchangeably, but in the legal perspective, to domesticate a law, to domesticate a treaty, of course it has been ratified. That means it has been accepted to work in the country. But then we need to domesticate it, put it in the legal framework, so that it is within the law, that the law, for example, when we domesticate it, meaning it, rate it in the local laws of Uganda, so, to be part of the constitution, and then to be able to have its legal framework and to be operationalized officially.
Okay, so apparently you're operating illegally in Uganda.
Not really, because it is already ratified, signed to by the government of Uganda. But what we are saying is, let us simplify by rating it in the constitution of Uganda, such that we break the bureaucratic process of if we want to transform information from, because for you with the visual, who is visual, okay, you can read and write very well. But for us, we have our formats, how we use our information. For example, the book should be transcribed back to braille. But now the bureaucratic process, like I have to go to the publisher, I have to go to the author, that's what we are trying to break down, so that if it is domesticated, and for educational purposes, I just get a book like maybe those in secondary, those who understand the fountain, those who understand the initially for us when we were studying, we used to read those books of the Kinyua Achebe, and yes, so we would just transcribe them into braille or audio or into large print, without going into the bureaucratic process of saying we have to seek permission from the author, then the publisher. So this one, it is working close with the Neighboring Law Act that is being amended. Actually, I'm very happy for the government of Uganda. Do have moved a step. So on 13th May, it was mentioned in the parliament. So it is really under review of the one of the amendments that will be made, so the Marrakesh Treaty will be assigned to. But however, being mentioned, we still ask the government of Uganda to expedite the process, such that this can really be hopeful to our students, to our fellow brothers, fellow sisters who are in schools, because accessing this information is pretty hard. But we are thinking that if it is domesticated, now schools will be getting access to these books in braille. Transcribing them into braille would be easier for them. You know, Uganda, we are trying to face that challenge. Visually impaired children, people, we are really left behind. Just look at the current situation of the political ground. We have not been considered. Wow. We don't know how we shall vote. We are voting on the mercy of the personal guides, personal assistants, right? If I need to go and vote, I will ask you, kind of guide me to take someone. But if the Electoral Commission came out, if this law was already out, we would say, the way also our chairman, we would say now, the first, for example, let me give examples about the presidents. For example, we would say, the President X, Mr. Museveni, is triangle. The President B, Mr. Chagulanye, is circle. The president of the part of our Lusania, it would be Mbaraka Munyagwa. It would be maybe the other is square, the other is circle, the other is triangle. So that a visually impaired person just know whom he wants to vote. For example, if the guide is there, but me I know my president is President Museveni, I'll go for the square and then vote with the square. If it is maybe Honorable Chagulani, I would go with the circle, press it there. But here we are under a mercy of the guide. For example, if I say I'll vote for President Museveni, and I am your guide and I like Bobby Wine, and you like Bobby Wine, so I would go and instead vote Bobby Wine for you. Yeah, you will vote on your behalf. Exactly. And at the end of the day, you realize that my intention hasn't been met. Yeah, really, my conscience has not been really fulfilled because my intention was different. But because I can't really view anything, you take me for granted. What number are we looking at of people with visual impairment in the country? How many millions are you so far? Oh yeah, thank you very much. The current population came out and we were the current population of persons with disability. It is from the recent 2024 report. Yes. It is 13.6. But out of the 13.6, for us visually impaired, we are 6% out of the 13. So meaning we carry the largest. So the 13.6 is for all people with disability. 13.6. Yes. So you're 6%. 6%. Which makes it about 3 point something million. Exactly. So meaning that we are the largest category of persons with disability in the constituents of persons with disabilities. So we really feel that. And all of you, when you look at this upcoming general elections, you're not considered to vote on your own. No. Because these things cannot be put down there in the right in action because the law is not yet domesticated. But I want to look at. I'm sure there is something I saw when we were at the press conference. I think it was Madame Brenda who was reading the press statement by hand, using the braille. You call them braille. Yes. So you're saying it is not yet domesticated. So how are you having the braille? Are you doing it illegal? No. Illegally? No. It is our right. You know, we have fundamental rights, yeah? For example, if I'm visually impaired, I have a right to information. Actually, the Act for ICT puts it very clearly. The Human Rights Act puts it very clearly. And like when we look at the World Intellectual Property Organization, also they put it very well. Okay. Then when you look at the UN SARAPD, the United Nations Convention of Rights of Persons with Disability, it really puts it very well that we have a right to information. And we are not doing anything illegally because it was ratified. But only what we feel is bring it down home and really customize it such that we can do what? We can be part of it. Okay. So it is exactly what we are advocating for, what we are calling the government to do, what we are calling the organizations to do, so that this law is domesticated and we are able to do what? To freely operate. For example, this will break the barricades. For example, if we are trying to import in books, we are trying also to call upon the government to understand that for us, the people with visual impairments, the taxes should be reduced so that we are really able to access this information. So we are trying to break out everything that we are advocating for the government, means the parliament exactly, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, to expedite the process of the neighboring and act, because that's where we follow, so that if it is really domesticated and the Marrakesh Suite is really domesticated, every visually impaired will be happy. You will make for us our Christmas in our constituency of visually impaired by domesticating this. So we are calling upon the government to do this. You say the process is ongoing. Yes. So you people, by keeping the crying out and the advocacy, are you just being impatient, or you want to pressurize the government to increase on the speed they are using to domesticate the treaty? For us, we cannot put the government at ransom, but what we always do is to remind them, because even when we say it is ongoing, it is because as our advocacy, because it is us who have moved ahead to advocate for it. Because remember, even we have been having meetings even with the Minister of Education, National Curriculum Development Center, to always have this information in accessible format. And they are really adopting, and you have signed a lot of memorandum of understanding with them, and we are willing to work together. That's one thing I appreciate about the government. They have really felt our cry. However, we only say that, okay, please move a step ahead. That's the only thing we are looking at. We don't say that we want pressure. But for us, I and the organization, the Uganda National Association of the Blind, we are there to advocate for our right, for our space also, so that we can also have information. And really, we are thinking that if this domestication is really improved, more information will come up, more jobs will be created for us. You realize that for us in our constituency, it is really a very challenging thing. For example, accessing the audio transcriber, accessing our software like JAWS, which is the software we use. Its license is 3 million.
It's licensed.
It's licensed as a software to one computer, because
you're looking at when you're purchasing it, or every year?
Yeah, actually per year.
Per year.
Yes,
3 million.
3 million. So it is quite expensive. Now, when government domesticates this law, now those other also softwares will be low, because it means that we shall advocate for the reduction of taxes on our equipments. Look at the packing brailles. They are really very expensive. Look at the embossers we use. They are really very expensive. So we really say, if all this property, the law is domesticated, we stand a right to advocate for, and then we shall do what? We shall sit with the Uganda Revenue, say, under this law, look at this. Now we need a waiver of a tax on this, so that if we are importing in these machines, it becomes very convenient for us.
Okay,
that's our cry.
Let's talk about in the few minutes remaining, Mr. Paul. Let's talk about the machine that produces these brailles. There is one I saw. If I recall very well, or remember very well, the chairperson said that it is only you that have only one machine in the country. I don't know if I remember very well, you correct me. And that is so expensive, and it also was donated by some government, not Uganda here. It was government donated by
South Korea.
By South Korea, yes. So it is one in the country. And how are you now? How are you using one machine to support all the visually impaired persons within your organization?
Thank you very much.
And also you add in, how does it affect you having only one machine that is so expensive, because he said assembling it only was close to
50 million,
50 million plus. Yes. How is that affecting you?
Well, we cry, but as we weep our tears. Lucky, first of all, I would appreciate the Southern Korean government for donating to us the embossers, the computers, the jaws, and so on for working. However, this is not sufficient enough, though it has helped us. Like, we have printed the more educative materials and we have supplied them to schools, like schools of the blind, like Ikangeses, like the Madera, and so on. And even currently we just had a White Kindness Day where we distributed more books. However, we have also worked with the other government institutions that have come to us. For example, Uganda Revenue, Uganda AIDS Commission. So we have worked with them to braille their material, and we have put them, some of them, on audio, like the AIDS to stop stigma among the visually impaired. We put it in audio. However, we are still challenged because the demand is high and the supply is low. So here, that's when we are calling in, like, if different stakeholders, including the government, could come in and support Uganda National Association of the Blind. At least maybe, like, if we call upon different embassies, we call in maybe the Danish embassy, the American embassy, government institutions, to come and support by maybe donating, or so that we meet the large population.
Okay.
The few we have, but also there is still a gap. That one I want to appreciate that there is still a gap. And if this law is domesticated very well, and then even different institutions, because we shall stand under the law to say that, okay, look here, a certain embassy, a certain government institution, a certain government ministry, that look here, we need support in this area. So they will come in and they will be backed up also by the law, saying that, because sometimes when we do legal implementation, you back up with evidence. You are like, okay, I supported this because this is what it calls for. It is a human right law. So we need to. So the challenges are still there, but we are advocating. The population still demands. The machines are very few, and then the supply is needed is big. So we are calling upon different institutions, but
not
also
only government.
Not even only government, because we have international, but also we need to appreciate that those who are there that would also wish to work with us to emboss their documents, please join us, because we are willing to give you the service. Aside that you meet, because of recent we are saying inclusion for everyone, leaving no one behind. So we are saying we are leaving no one behind. Please, if you are doing an activity outside there, please let also the visually impaired be inclusive. And how would they be inclusive? Let them access information in audio. Let them access information in large print. Let them access information in braille. And if you are there and you wish to do the work, Uganda National Association of the Blind is willing to support you. Please join us and contact us, because we are just right out here on Chireka Namugongo Road.
Look at them here and tell them. This camera here.
Yeah, we are just right away here at Kireka Namugongo Road, the head offices where we sit. And when you need our services, please feel at home. Come and contact us. We are willing to support you.
Okay. They are much willing to work with everyone, and I mean, I am happy that they are not only calling up government, but anyone who can support. I am informed this week you're yet to receive some donation of some equipment from some. Is from Turkey now?
Yes.
Yes, from Turkey. When is the event, and what are they bringing on board? So people need to be updated so that they receive the good news as we cry, but also there is something that is being done. And maybe someone out there might be encouraged to also come and donate something for the blind people or the visually impaired persons.
Yeah, thank you very much. The government of the Turkish, we are really very honored. They have really had our cry, and recently they have donated to us 40 computers. They'll be also trying to support us with some software at the jaws. So this will be this week, most likely even tomorrow, because we shall be receiving those equipments from the Turkish embassy, and we are pretty sure that the president of the Turkish and the embassy, they will be available at Uganda National Association of the Blind, handing over those computers to support the visually impaired. Because of recent, it is ICT which is inclusive that is working out. Because for us, we are visually impaired. But now I'm very happy to tell you that even visually impaired, those who have been trained in ICT, can design a website, he can do a lot of work. So please, even maybe I have also a cry for people out there giving out jobs. Please consider the visually impaired people. We are almost equal. So long as for us, we always tell people that we have the impairment which is permanent, but we are not disabled. Because if the services, for example, those barriers are removed, so the disability is removed. People, this is now where there is different understanding. No one is disabled because that is a barrier. I'm disabled maybe to reach somewhere because I can't access. But if you put maybe a lift here, you enable me to reach. So the disability goes out. But the impairment doesn't do it.
Doesn't go away.
Doesn't. The
so
impairment
people are not making a difference or giving a difference between the impairment and the disability.
Exactly. The impairment is the permanent one I have, but the disability is the those enablers, the disabled things that are in place. But if you put the enablers, the disability goes, but the impairment will never go.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Kumaliiri, for being with us this morning and bringing us this good information, and also advocating for what the government should be doing, or any other institutions out there that would want to support the people with visual impairments. Any last remarks for people watching out there as we sign out from here?
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Well, one of my last, it will be like a call out. I'm calling out about the government to come in and expedite the process of the domestication of the Marrakesh Treaty. Then I'm also calling about the Ministry of Justice and the Internal Affairs, then the Law Reform Commission, the URSB, all those playing partners to come out and support the domestication and then the neighboring rights law to be really expedited and be implemented. But we are really humbled, and thank you very much for really being part of us. We are on this journey together, and today we are all potential partners of being visually impaired. Today you are fine, and tomorrow you can get an impairment. So please, as you for us we cry, you should also be aware that on the other left side you can also be part of us tomorrow. So please, when you delay it, you are delaying yourselves. So I call upon everyone to expedite the process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Paul, once again for being with us. This has been Excel Kumaliiri. We intermixed with the languages so that every person can be able to understand, because this TV is really watched by all categories of people. Thank you so much. My name is Enoth, and we come back tomorrow for similar program. We'll be here early in the morning at 7 a.m. because this program runs Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Stay tuned. God bless you.